Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Biden hilariously fails in the first town hall.
All right, I think we can play this. Biden was doing the CNN town hall. He basically says minorities can't get on the internet.
I was very surprised they let the Biden out without a script. Guys, bad idea. Terrible idea.
Yeah. You let the Biden out unscripted, and this is what happens. All right, let's go have a watch of this. I think you guys are going to find this is pretty funny.
The other portion is a lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination at the Walgreens or at the.
How awful was that? How awful was that? Oh, you couldn't hear it because you don't have headphones on.
No, I couldn't.
Have you seen this video?
No, no.
This
No,
is
I
unbelievable.
didn't,
Did you read about it?
Yes, I did.
There's just no words. He's just such a fool. I mean, I
can't watch videos like this with Biden because I see like him talking, but I feel embarrassed. I don't want to see stuff like this.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is the kind of elitist attitude that I was talking about. You know how I said, like, Democrats think conservatives are stupid? I'll tell you what. You talk to any farmer. Like, I know a lot of farmers from Oregon. They're some of the most brilliant people I know. I mean, just really smart people. People who work farms, own farms. Really bright people. And, the same goes for, like, okay, so Biden's talking about black people and Hispanic people. They don't always know how to get on the internet. I mean, maybe that was true in like 1994 when like hardly anybody knew how to get on the internet. But that's not true. That's not true today. Everybody knows how to get on the internet.
I mean, some old people.
Yeah, very old
have
people.
Problem with like internet and
but
phones.
Not necessarily black.
No.
Yeah. But this shows how out of touch he is, how out of touch these elitist Democrats are. Oh, we have to have equity because black people are a little, they don't know how to get on the internet. That's unbelievable to me. To me, that is the worst. That is the most racist thing he's ever said. The thing where he said, like, poor kids are just as smart as white kids. Okay, I can chalk that up to, like, a slip of the tongue. Right? Or whatever. This is telling. This is the most racist thing I think he's ever said. And he said some pretty bad stuff. When he said, at one point, I don't know if I've ever played this video for you. At one point, he said that Barack Obama is a credit to his race because he's clean. I think he meant clean cut. Like he's, got a good haircut or something. But even that's pretty bad. But this is the worst. This is the worst thing I've ever.
And it's been, for how long he's been the president? Month.
Yeah, this is an article in Breitbart. The article is called Joe Biden's 7 Cringeworthy Moments at Wisconsin Town Hall. Joe Biden on human rights violation. This is a little long, so I'm not going to play this video, but he says basically that when he was asked about China's human rights violations, he says, culturally, there are different norms. There are different cultural norms. Like for us, if you think that a guy who pretends he's a girl doesn't want to play, or shouldn't be allowed to play soccer on a women's soccer team, well, then you're a bigot. That's our culture. In China, they just randomly kill people who disagree with their political policies, which I think might be where we're going.
Oh, I hope not, because I just moved from the place, like, I mean, not like China, but Russia is kind of close to it. And where else
they're
am I
corrupt.
gonna move? I just moved like to America. I mean, five years ago.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to move again. Where are we gonna move to?
I mean, I want to live in America, just not in California.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find somewhere else,
Yeah.
guys. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this was. Biden says, "Okay, I'm just gonna play this for you guys. I think you guys are gonna get a kick out of this."
Hey, folks, how are you? Good to be back, man.
It's nice to see you, sir.
And you know you enjoy being home with the baby more. I don't want to hear that.
I do, yes. Yeah, he's 9.5 months, so I'm very
I get
happy.
it. No. Everybody knows I like kids better than people.
I
so-
saw
Everybody knows I like kids better than people, he says.
Well, that's just horrifying.
Here's the thing about the Biden kid thing or the Biden kissing everybody thing. I've never pushed that as a thing against Biden, and the reason I haven't pushed it really on my show is because he's an old guy. He comes from old school politics. You know, they're supposed to kiss babies. They're supposed to hug kids. You know, that was how they were supposed to do politics. And so, I don't know, I guess he liked that part of it. To me, if I had to run around kissing everybody and hugging everybody, I'd be like, all right, I need a shower, you know. But Biden seems to like that. Okay, fine. You know, when I go up to Oregon, I play with the kids, you know, my nieces and my nephew. You know, they crawl all over you. That's what kids do. You know, I try to think the best of everybody. Does Biden look super creepy doing this stuff?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
For sure.
I mean, I was giving him excuse before, like
Yep.
there was a tragedy in his past. His
Tragedy.
wife.
Tragedy.
Sorry.
I like strategy, though. That's a good thing,
No,
too.
I was trying to. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
His son died. Then I think another son died from cancer.
Yeah, his wife died.
His wife
a
died,
car
like,
accident,
and
I
I
think.
was giving him excuse, like his children, they were adults, but they died. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the first son? Was he old? Like older?
I think the first son that died with his wife, I think. Or
Yeah,
something.
you don't remember how old was he? Well, it's sad. So I
It
was
is sad,
like,
yeah.
maybe Biden's so like sniffing kids and so close to them because he's kind of, emotional.
Sure.
Because he lost. But now it's like become more and more creepy,
Yeah. Well, the thing that I think is weird about it is that this has become a kind of a meme. This has become kind of a criticism of Biden.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, when he said like kids would rub my leg and watch the hairs, and I love kids jumping on my lap. I mean,
I'm Joe Biden and I love kids jumping on my lap.
that was from a video that I made. I put that together. But there's just no self-awareness, right? He was never really aware that what he was saying sounded really creepy and weird. And granted, you don't have to take it that way. I like to give him the benefit of the doubt even today because that's the kind of person I am. I'm a little bit more positive and optimistic. But once you recognize that people think that of you, maybe be a little bit more careful about that sort of thing. And so this just shows, a complete lack of self-awareness, I think, if anything. He's just old, he doesn't know what he's doing, I think, half the time.
I mean, he's not like super old, but his mentality,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't look like he can rule the country.
No.
Like, you better retire, like spend your time with your family, wife, 2 dogs,
Well, speaking of him not looking like he knows what the hell he's doing, let's play another clip real quick. This is, I think you guys will find this funny.
you have Over the years, over your career, you've already spent a great deal of time at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, except now you're living there and you're president. It's been 4 weeks. What's it like? How's it different?
I get up in the morning and look at Jill and say, where the hell are we? No.
I get up every morning, I look at Jill, and I say, where the hell are we?
Did he really say that?
Yeah. He was referring to waking up in the White House and being like, wow, we're in the White House. But the way he phrased it, it just sounds like he's got dementia and he doesn't know where he is. Anyway, I thought that one was pretty funny. But anyway, he kind of botched this entire town hall.
It's kind of like, I don't think it's a good thing to say, but my personal opinion that Biden, I think the next president of the United States is going to be Kamala Harris.
Well, right, because
and I think it's going to happen
to step down or
probably next year. I don't know, but it doesn't look Biden. I mean, he doesn't have like this energy. I mean, he had like this energy when they said like Biden won, like for sure he's 100% the president, like, and he made this like a little run. He was like running. I think he spent so much energy in this short run that
he's done.
He's done.
That was the last energy he had in his whole life.
That was the last.
I love that. I want to play one more clip. This is of him basically lying and saying that they didn't have the vaccine when he became president, which is not true. That's such a bizarre lie to make. But anyway, this is what he says. Hold on.
And the biggest thing, though, as you remember, when you and I shouldn't say it that way, as you remember, but when you and I talked last, we talked about it's one thing to have the vaccine, which we didn't have when we came into office.
So he says here, we didn't have the vaccine when we came into office. But he did. It's just a bizarre... The stuff that he gets wrong, it's almost like AOC level mistakes, right? Like he's been coached by his guys before he goes on stage, and then he hits the talking points, but he hits them a little wrong. Like maybe he meant to say we didn't have a vaccine rollout plan or something like that, because he claims that, even though that's not true. Yeah, a lot of these towns. So it's a kind of a funny thing, right? Trump hadn't left office, but he'd been voted out of office, and Democrats in Democrat cities still seem to be like delaying the rollout of the vaccine. In Florida, they didn't have a problem. In Florida, they were just distributing it like candy. It was fine. In all the conservative places, the rollout was okay, but in all the leftist places, they were like, we don't know how to do this. You mean we have to do this? The federal government isn't? Well, we're idiots. We don't know what to do. And they're like helpless babies. They couldn't do anything themselves. And they're like, this is Trump's fault. And it's all, of course, political theater. If they really wanted to, they could have rolled out the vaccine fine. But they wanted to make it look like Trump failed again. They're so obsessed with smearing Trump. They're crazy. I mean, Trump had already, the election had already happened. It already happened.
It just
and
so funny how, I mean, we watch CNN and Fox, and we watch every channel like MSNBC, and every day on CNN while Trump was the president, they had this COVID statistic on the right side, like like 24 hours a day, like 24 hours. And as soon as like next day after inauguration, there is no more statistic, no more COVID. It was just so ridiculous. Guys, can you at least leave that statistic for like first 100 days that Biden said that we're going to mask up for 100 days, and then you can remove it and say, oh, it's actually worked. So
or at least a week or something.
Just wait.
You guys, when we transitioned from Trump to Biden on January 6th, Valeria noticed that right away. She noticed that little ticker on the side of every CNN newscast had disappeared, the number of COVID deaths. And she was obsessed with this. She pointed at it all the time. I was obsessed with
it because I knew that it's going to happen. But I thought it's going to happen like a week, 2 weeks after inauguration. But I didn't expect it to happen next day after.
Yeah.
This is why I was so obsessed with
I should have pointed it out in a video because maybe like 2 days later, other conservative political pundits started pointing this out. They started to notice it. And I was like, oh, yeah, Valeria noticed that like 2 days ago. But I never put it on a show. I should have.
Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.